Greetings, friends and followers. This is Nurses Talking. I am Delaware. As always, if you like what you see and hear, subscribe, leave us a comment, and let us know what you think. Here on Nurses Talking, we speak to nurses anywhere in the world and at any stage in their nursing journey, from students through retirees and anywhere in between. Today, it is my great pleasure to welcome Ms. Lorna Taylor. Lorna's journey commenced as a staff nurse, where she provided exceptional care in the fields of organ transplantation and orthopedic and spine trauma. Transitioning to leadership, Lorna assumed the role of nursing supervisor in a nursing home, overseeing the care of elderly residents with both grace and diligence. Her career continued to evolve as she took on the position of transplant case manager, coordinating intricate cases for patients undergoing life-changing procedures. Her dedication extended to a military treatment facility where she served as a clinical case manager, offering vital support to military personnel and their families. In the insurance industry, Lorna's role as an appeals nurse consultant demonstrated her keen understanding of healthcare regulations and her ability to navigate complex insurance claims with finesse. Currently, she holds a dual role as a clinical transformation analyst in clinical informatics at an acute care setting and as the CEO and founder of Astute Legal Nurse Consulting, LLC. Welcome, 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 Ms. Laura Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that great intro. Thank you.
Well, thank you for doing this. I get the opportunity to speak to so many nurses doing so many things. I love it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So firstly, why are you a nurse?
I'm a nurse because I love to serve. And not only that, but I became a nurse not knowing that my great grandmother who raised me was pretty much molding me to serve. And when I said she raised me, I went everywhere with her. And and in the Caribbean, it's like, everyone lives like a village. And
Yeah.
yeah, she and I were very close. People thought she was actually my grandmother. So when I said I went everywhere with her on the weekends, she actually volunteered at a nursing home and she would read the Bible to the infirmed. And I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. Every year, keep going with her. And
Mhm.
I admired what she did. And also, she always helped the needy, the sick, the less fortunate. And I got to see that. And I didn't realize that she was actually molding me until I got older. And I said, oh yeah, I had an admiration for her friends who were nurses. There were a couple of people in the family who were in the healthcare field, and so I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I really and truly give credit to her for molding me, and I didn't realize I was being molded at the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So with all of this exposure, and you absorbing all of this, when you finally got to be a nurse,
Mhm.
was it what you expected?
Um, yes and no.
Mhm.
Yes, I say yes for the patient care part of it, and
Mhm.
no for the politics.
Mhm.
Yes. So I had great experiences as a nurse at the bedside, doing what I am supposed to do at the time when I was at the bedside. But as far as dealing with the co-workers, the politics behind the unit or the whole industry. I didn't expect that. And what I mean is, like, for example, I was bullied as a new nurse. I got the worst assignments as a new
Mhm.
nurse. I didn't expect that. And when I say the worst assignments, I'm not talking about the patient load or the need of the patient. I'm talking about the assignments like in 4 different corners of the unit.
Of the
And if
unit.
it's, yeah, if it's a 36-bed unit, I'm like, I have one on this side down there, one and two back there. So I was running. Yeah, I didn't expect it. Wasn't what I saw in my clinical experience in school.
Yep, yep. And this can tend to throw you a little bit, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did, and also I grew from it. I
Hmm.
grew from it because I overcame the bullying, I overcame the favoritism, I overcame the bad talk, just do it, or it's what you're assigned to. I overcame all of that.
Yeah.
So it really toughened me as a
Yeah.
nurse. Yes,
Yeah.
it did. It did.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that, actually, because often what I find is that when these kind of things come at you, after a while, I just began to say thank you.
And that's exactly what I did. That's
You know,
exactly what I did.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you just say, "Oh, thanks. I can do
Yep.
this. Let me
Yep.
show you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you how this is done." So you have worked in many kind of diverse areas.
I have. I have.
And
Yes.
and and really, that's part of the beauty of nursing, is that you can be so diverse. But why were you so diverse?
I was trying to find my niche.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but it's like every area of nursing that I've worked, it's like I was building a castle. It's like I was
Mm-hmm.
building on experience on experience on experience. And I
Yeah.
remember like every interview that I went on, they would say, "Oh, you come with a wealth of knowledge. You
Yeah.
know about a lot of different areas." And I thought they were just saying that because I was there for the interview. But after looking within myself as a nurse, I'm like, I can speak on this, I can speak on that, I could speak on inpatient, nursing home, home health, the insurance industry. Now I'm in technology with nursing. I was like, okay, I even was on a military base
Yeah.
and I'm a civilian. So I was like, yeah, everywhere I went, I took a little piece with me and I built on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of all of that, what drew you to nursing informatics? Well, let's start by telling us all, what is nursing informatics? What drew you to it? How do you get into it?
Okay. Nursing informatics. I'm just going to put it in the simplest terms possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's combining nursing science with technology or computer science and
Mm-hmm.
medical science.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, nursing informatics, to be specific, is supporting nursing with the technology that they use in today's healthcare arena. Does that explain it?
Very well put.
Okay. Okay. And that's what I do today. I work in an acute care setting, and that's a hospital, and they have about 3 different facilities. And I support the nurses. So for workflow, for example, they use Cerner, electronic medical record, which is now Oracle. So if they call the IT support desk and say, "Oh, my I can't log in. I can't scan this medication to give to the patient because now everything is scanning." It's not like you pull the medication from a drawer, open
Right.
it, and just sign it off in a book. No, everything is scanning. You
Yeah.
scan the medication barcode on the medication. You scan the patient's armband. If they can't do that, they'll call me.
Mhm.
So, and I have to pretty much get to the bottom of the root cause of why this nurse
Mhm.
cannot do her or his work. And
Excellent.
so that's how I support them with the
Mhm.
technology. If and I do round, so I go to these facilities and I talk to the nurses and I'll hear things like, why do we have to document this way? Can't we just get rid of this and do this? And I said, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
And I'll take it back to my leadership and I'll say, this is what concerns this nurse, and I've heard it several times. And can we look into changing this? And I'll reach out to the builder who built the system and I'll say, can we test this? Can we change this for the nurse and make it more efficient when it comes to documentation, less burdensome? And that's how I do my work every day. So I make changes, I implement changes, I support changes for the nurses and their workflow, make it easier.
I am so glad that you explained that and explained it so clearly. Because one of the goals that I have here is for nurses to see what nurses are doing and how they can do it. And so, it's one thing to say nursing informatics, but so I want nurses to see that. But now that we're talking about the technology, where do you see this? Let us say in the next 10 years or so, where do you see technology? What kind of impact do you see technology having on nursing?
I wouldn't say I see it taking over, but I see it being of great assistance. And today, right now, we have 2 robots in our facility that's helping the nurses.
Okay.
Yes. So talk about technology. Yes. I see it being very much implemented in every area possible and to do different things. I'm going to say, just give you a quick example of how they help the nurses. For example, if the nurse gets an order from the physician for a patient to be put on, IV pump, and there's no pump in the room. So now she's going to start an IV. She has to leave the bedside to go to the facility area to get the pump. Instead, she can just request it from a kiosk and the robot will go get it and bring it.
Awesome.
Yes. So that frees up more time for the nurse to actually give patient care.
Yeah.
Yes. The same thing. Some medications cannot be sent through the tube, and the nurse would have to go to the pharmacy to get it. Now the robot goes and get it.
Awesome. Yeah. You make me just want to dive back into this. I am retired now, pretty much. You have worked in so many different areas, so many different kinds of people, so many different focuses. What would you like to see change?
For nurses, I would definitely like to see more pay, more respect. I don't think nurses are respected for what they do and for as much as they do.
Yeah.
And also it's a level of respect in terms of what they do, and also a level of respect when it comes to interruption. Doctors aren't interrupted. Nurses run the healthcare system.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying that as a nurse.
Because it's true, though.
It's true. For example, when you see a woman delivering a baby, who is there? The doctor comes in and at the last minute, when the baby's head is showing, and say push, knock the baby's bottom, and sign the record and be out. The nurse is with that patient. If the patient is in labor 18, 19, 20 hours, 6 hours, whatever, the nurse is there. And that's just one scenario. The same thing with a patient in the ICU. The nurse is there.
It's there.
So I would really love to see increase in pay. Nurses should actually have billable hours or billable items. Yes. And respect. Those are the things I really would like to see change.
Exactly. I hesitate to ask this question because I'm wondering if you're going to know it to start. I am going to ask you, what would you say is your greatest achievement so far?
My greatest achievement actually is having my master's degree in a specialty, I mean, nursing specialty, sorry, that is going in the future.
Aha.
Yes, it's not just a common special area of nursing. And when I say common, I mean like a nurse practitioner,
Mm-hmm.
right? A nurse anesthetist. I'm talking about something that can change the future. So that's one of my greatest accomplishments. And I really and truly, I'm glad that I paid attention to when technology was being incorporated or implemented into the healthcare arena. And this was around 2005, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Between those decades or eras,
Yeah.
the electronic medical
When
record,
EMR was blowing up.
yes, it was blowing up. And so I went back to school for this in 2010. So, with that said, I'm glad I was like on the front end of it to see how it's developing and
Yeah.
changing. And I've had the opportunity since then to work with different electronic medical records. I've worked with four so far,
Mm-hmm.
and I can speak on them. I can train. I'm super user with these. So with that said, I am glad that I did make this choice. So that's one of my biggest accomplishments.
Huge, because I can remember at that time, at that period that you mentioned, um, so many people were so resistive to it. Instead, you took the opposite route and said, okay, let me just go embrace this because it's coming anyway.
Yes, exactly. And I've never seen in any case where technology is introduced and then withdrawn. I've
Yeah,
never seen
that
that.
doesn't happen.
No,
That doesn't happen.
if anything, it's advanced, it's improved, it's developed, but
Yeah,
never withdrawn, never taken away.
yeah, 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 yeah. So what do you say to someone who wants to be a nurse today?
Nursing is a lifetime learning commitment. It is. Naturally, the learning doesn't start until you have your first nursing job. So don't get comfortable just because you graduated. No, the real learning starts. I mean, school, yes, prepares you, and that's theory. Yes, you get clinical and practicum experience, but the real deal is when you have those patients' lives in your hands.
Mhm.
You have a commitment. You have a commitment to an organization, the organization you're working for. You have a tremendous commitment to that patient in that bed and their families.
Yeah,
So that's what I would encourage them to keep in mind. The learning starts when your feet hit that ground.
there you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah,
Uh, and so now you're shifting. You already have been an assessor and an analyst and all of that. Now you're shifting into the legal aspect of things.
yes, yes,
Excellent.
yes, yes. I that came about from me just going to a seminar. Um, and it was the American, what is it? American Association for Legal Nurse Consulting conference or seminar. It was a 4 day
Mhm.
seminar. And I was like so fascinated when I heard those attorneys, spoke about the cases that they have and how um they don't know certain things.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, here I am. I can help you. So that's what fascinated me, and I got intrigued, and so I started researching that, and to find the areas where I can help, and that's how I got involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. And it's not part of the glamour. It's not part of what you see when there's a kid, but it is a necessary part of how that case goes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so much behind the scenes
Yeah.
for us. Yeah, the legal nurse consultant really. can be on the front line with the attorney in court or behind the scenes. I'm a
Yeah.
behind the scenes type of person because I like to
Mhm.
investigate and research.
Okay, so one more thing. What does self-care mean to you?
Oh, self-care means putting my phone on do not disturb, heads down with a mindless movie, no thought process whatsoever. Just just veg it out. Just that's my self-care. I mean, I get my hair done, I get my nails done all the time. So to me, that's just a part of my
It's
normal
just
being.
routine.
Right. Some people may say that's self-care for them. No, that self-care for me is minding my own business, relaxing, not thinking about anything. If I'm watching a crazy movie, a movie that doesn't make sense, I can change the channel, I can change the Netflix, Peacock, whatever. That's just my self-care. My self-care is just doing something that doesn't involve anybody else. And I mean it. That's
I
just
know what you mean, because I love those days.
huh?
I love those days.
Yes. Yes, that's
Yeah.
self-care to me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I get you. I get you. I get you. So, my very last question to you is, if you had to describe in one word what to you is the most essential quality of a nurse, what would that word be?
Stamina.
Stamina. That's the first time that one came up.
Stamina. And what I mean is emotional stamina, physical stamina.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I gave you a scenario earlier of how I got the worst assignments and I
Yeah.
had to run.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until later in my nursing career that I realized that a nurse who's doing a 12-hour shift walks about 4 to 5 miles within
Mm-hmm.
that shift.
Yeah.
So if the nurse doesn't have that stamina, that physical stamina, and that mental stamina to keep up with what they have to do, they can easily make a mistake. They
Mm-hmm.
can easily crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, the one word is stamina. I mean, all the pushing, the pulling, the lifting. A nurse lifts about what 1.3 tons
A
per.
lot.
Yeah, that's the size of a hippo.
A lot.
Yes, stamina. So
Yeah.
you
And
have
you
to
just talked about the physical lifting, the
yeah,
mental
the
lifting
mental.
also.
You have to pay attention to the doctors. You have a 5 patient load. That's 5 different doctors you may have to deal with. You
Mm-hmm.
have to keep everything straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It is huge. Stamina is a good one. Stamina is
Yeah,
a good one. Thank you for
that's a
that.
great quality. I
Yeah.
can commend any nurse who has that, and I think we all do. We have,
We are.
and they don't realize that they have that as a quality.
Yeah.
The
I know.
nurses that I see who are leaving the bedside, they can't keep up. They're burning out because they don't have that stamina.
They don't. And also, that many people, many nurses don't realize just how vast nursing is, and that they have the opportunity to pivot. That
Exactly.
all of that energy and time and money and anticipation and all of this thing that you poured into nursing, you do not have to give it up.
You
You
do
just
not.
have to pivot.
It's so diverse. It's so you have options.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you have many, 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 many options. And as I spoke to a nurse yesterday, I will quote her because if it isn't there, we can make it.
Create it.
You
Yes.
can create it. If it's not
Yes.
there, you can create it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love what I do as a clinical informaticist,
Hmm.
and I love what I do as a legal nurse consultant. So I'm getting the best of both
Of
worlds. I'm
both
doing two
worlds. And you
things that I
created
like.
that.
And guess what? Nursing created that foundation and made it possible for me to do
And
those things.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Lorna, I don't know how to thank you for this conversation. It has been both exciting, informative, the whole bit. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. Thank you
It is
so
my
much.
great pleasure. It is my
Yes.
pleasure.
Okay.